Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Nard from the Nard Report. Back today with another episode. This is episode 57 of the Nard Report. It is a pleasure to be here. And before we get things started, I just want to say thank y'all for all the love and support y'all have given me here on the YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And speaking of the Instagram and TikTok, make sure you follow those two social media platforms at _Nard_Report. Okay? And in today's episode, I'll recap all of the Week 18 games, just the games that I watched. A lot of these games didn't even matter like that, but I'm going to recap them. And the NFL playoffs are here, so I'm going to give y'all my wild card predictions, previews of these games, and tell you who I got winning. All right? And if you are new to the YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends that love talking about sports, okay? Tell them to subscribe to the Nard Report. And don't forget to click that bell to make sure y'all get all the notifications on when I go live and when I post stuff, okay? Let's get things started. Starting off with the Week 18 games, we got the Carolina Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks went 16-14 in Tampa Bay to keep their NFC South hosts alive. Before we get into this game, I just want to say this. This game right here between the Bucks and Panthers was rigged, okay? I mean, the officiating was horrible. The calls were horrible. Like the McMillan play, if they didn't call that OPI, they would have scored a touchdown on that drive because it was 13-7 Tampa Bay. And that was legal contact by McMillan, Ted McMillan. And then you got a Panthers player getting his helmet ripped off. How's that not a flag? And then they called a backwards pass on Rico Dowdle. He threw it right to him. And if it was behind him, that's different. But the officiating for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Carolina Panthers game was horrible. But let's talk about these stats, though. Bryce Young, he played a great game. 24 for 35 on his completion attempts, threw for 266 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The Panthers, you almost had a comeback. It was 17-16. But then what happens? You fumbled. Like Rico Dowdle could have ran up the middle, but instead he flips it back to Bryce Young. Tampa Bay's got the football. If Rico Dowdle did not fumble that ball, Carolina would have scored, and it would have came out to a game-winning field goal. But otherwise, though, Tampa Bay Buccaneers win 16-14 to get their NFC South hopes alive. Moving on to the next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks dominated the San Francisco 49ers 13-3. This was a iffy game. Sam Darnold played solid, 20 for 26 on his completion attempts, threw for 198 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Brock Purdy did not play a great game, 19 for 27 on his completion attempts, threw for 127 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. This was barely a defensive game. Offensively, for the Seahawks, did not have to do much. They rely on their defense, and they got the job done. The Niners, 3 points, unacceptable. This game was for the NFC West. Seattle won 13-3. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks for winning the NFC West. And I got the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl in the NFC because this team right here, Sam Darnold, MVP caliber quarterback, JSN, top 10 receiver in the league, and they have a top 10 defense. Okay, but if Sam Darnold plays like an MVP quarterback, which I think he is, Seattle will win the NFC, maybe win the Super Bowl. But if he played like how he did against the Niners, the way the Seattle Seahawks played against the Niners was unacceptable. They cannot have that into the playoffs. But they did get that first round bye, and that was well needed. The only touchdown for the Seahawks was a rushing touchdown by Carbonet. But that's it. Seahawks win 13-3, and they are NFC West champions. Now we go to the Sunday game. Starting off in Atlanta, we got the Falcons taking on the Saints in the NFC South Championship showdown. Yes, I said it. This is the NFC South Championship. You know why? Because this game decides who goes to the playoffs. So if Atlanta wins, Carolina goes. If New Orleans wins, Tampa goes. Okay? And this was a pretty good game. I was intense for this game. I was excited because I was rooting for my team because I wanted to see Carolina in the playoffs because I'm tired of seeing Tampa. I don't like them. So The only two teams I hate is the Bucks and the Saints. The Panthers, it's a love and hate relationship, but I'd rather see them than the Bucks. And plus, I believe this was their time. Let's go over these stats. The Atlanta Falcons played a great game. The Saints played well. Tyler Shuck played a good game. Kirk Cousins played a great game. 18 for 32 on his completion attempts, threw for 180 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Bijan Robinson, the Saints did what they were supposed to do, shut him down. 15 carries for 33 yards. Dre London, he had a great game. 8 targets, 4 receptions for 78 yards, and 1 touchdown. Okay. Defensively for Atlanta, played great. Got a fumble earlier in the game and an interception by D. Alford to technically ice the game. All right. The Saints, they battled to the end. Even though they didn't have their receivers or their running back in Alvin Kamara, they played a great game. But it wasn't enough to get the win. And that's it. Falcons went 19-17, and the Carolina Panthers are your NFC South champions. Moving on to the next game, we got the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings win 16-3. Next game, we got the Jaguars and the Titans. Jaguars are your AFC South champions. They win 41-7. Browns Bengals. Congratulations to Myles Garrett for getting that sack record. Browns win 20-18. Cowboys Giants. Giants win 34-17. Colts Texans. This was a good game. A shootout. Texans needed this win to keep the AFC South hopes alive. They won, but the Jaguars defeated the Titans, which it didn't even matter at that point. But Texans win 38-30. We got the Bills dominating the Jets 35-8. No surprise there. Patriots beating the Dolphins 38-10. Rams defeating the Cardinals 37-20. You got the Lions beating the Bears, sweeping Chicago 19-16 in back-to-back seasons. Good game. Okay, this was a great game. However, despite the Bears losing, they are the number 2 seed in the NFC. All right, Detroit was up 16-0. Chicago came back, tied the game up at 16, but Jared Goff led the Lions down the field and win the game with a game-winning field goal. Jared Goff played great, 27 for 42 on his completion attempts, threw for 331 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jahmyr Gibbs, 19 carries, ran for 80 yards and 0 touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 15 targets, 11 receptions, 139 yards and 0 touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown played great. Okay. They ran their offense through him. He played phenomenally well. Defensively for the Lions played well too. Caleb Williams did not play a great game, 20 for 33 on his completion attempts, threw for 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Chicago almost with the comeback. Either way, I would have rested my starters for this game because I knew I was going to get the 2 seed because the Eagles rested their starters. So, but Lions win 19-16. Next game, we got the Washington Commanders defeating the Eagles. Commanders win 24-17. Why didn't the Eagles play their starters? Why? If the Eagles would have won this game, they will be the 2 seed playing the Packers, and they'll have a home game in the NFC divisional round. But instead, your only hope for a home game in the divisional round is if the Bears lose, and that's it. Okay, and you beat the Niners. So even though if you beat the Niners, you probably have to go to Chicago to play the Bears in the divisional round. So I think that was a huge mistake by the Philadelphia Eagles for resting their starters. Yes, I understand this game didn't really need that much, but you could have got the 2 seed. Next game, we got the Raiders defeating the Chiefs. Raiders beat the Chiefs 14-12. Broncos Chargers. The Broncos are the number 1 seed in the AFC. They win 19-3. I officially have the Denver Broncos coming out of the AFC and winning it all this year. I've seen enough for these last few weeks. I've seen enough. With this defense right here, if they could just get their offense going, boom, they're Super Bowl champions. I believe in Bo Nix. I believe in this defense. I believe in Sean Payton. I do believe the Denver Broncos could get the job done. And I don't really see nobody going to Denver and taking out the Denver Broncos because Mile High is a very hard place to play. And remember, the last time these boys were the 1 seed, they went to the Super Bowl. So can history repeat itself? I believe it can. And then we go to the Sunday night game. What a freaking game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers with 26-24. Let's talk about it. Man, Baltimore Ravens. I feel bad for y'all. I feel bad for the Ravens fans. I do. Because I was really rooting for y'all. I wanted to see Lamar in the playoffs to actually see him compete for a championship this year since Mahomes is not out. Okay? But Lamar Jackson played his freaking heart out. 11 for 18 on his completion attempts, threw for 238 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Zay Flowers, let's talk about that, man. He had a night. 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and they were very clutch too. 6 targets, 4 receptions for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. But, man, it all came down to Tyler Luke game-winning field goal. He missed it. Wide right from 44 yards. And I'm going to tell you something. The Ravens really should have won that game. They should have. Let's just go right to the end of the game after Zay Flowers scores a touchdown to put the Ravens up 24-20. The Ravens defense should have stopped the Steelers from driving down the field and scoring the touchdown. Okay? You got the Ravens defender slipping to his knees because Calvin Austin took his ankles bad. So if that Ravens defender did not fall, it probably would have been an interception or an incompletion. But Aaron Rodgers, we all know what this man is capable of doing. Do not leave too much time on the clock for this man. Just don't, because that's the results you're going to get. Okay, so after they scored a touchdown, it's 26-24. Chris Boswell misses the extra point. That almost lost them the game. Okay, but then the Ravens, great kickoff return. It's 4th and 7. Lamar Jackson to Isaiah Likely inside the 25, puts them in field goal range to win it. I thought the Ravens were going to win the game right there. I said, ooh, yeah, the Ravens won this game. Maybe I spoke too soon, but hey, I feel like what the Ravens should have done after that was try to get more yards with Derrick Henry. Probably would have got inside the 15, and then set up a closer kick for Tyler Luke. But, man, Tyler Luke, I'm going to say this right now, you're a rookie, okay? This is just your rookie season, okay? And I get it, though, all right? As a rookie, I will be nervous as well, too. That's a lot of pressure to get your team into the playoffs. You're down 2. If you miss it, you lose. If you make it, you win. That was a lot of pressure on the rookie. I feel like he should have never been in this position in the first place because the defense for the Ravens played horrible. In the first half, they played well, but in the second half, they collapsed. But as the Steelers win, they are your AFC North champions for the first time since 2020. We get to see A-Rod in the playoffs again against the Houston Texans. Now, let's go over these playoffs. All right, let's go over this bracket. I'm here to give you my prediction for NFL Super Wild Card Weekend. The playoffs are here, baby, and I'm going to tell you the 7 teams from each conference. In the AFC, at the 1 seed, you got the Denver Broncos. Number 2, you got the New England Patriots. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers. All 4 of those teams won their division, so congratulations to those 4 teams. And as the wild cards, you got the Houston Texans, the Buffalo Bills, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's go over these games. Starting off with the first game, we got the Houston Texans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Texans are going to win this game because the Texans have the number 1 defense in the NFL. I really think that defense is really going to shut down the Steelers' offense. I see this as a low-scoring game because both offenses are mediocre, but their defense, Texans have the better defense. Steelers' defense is questionable, but Aaron Rodgers back in the playoffs. I feel like I just had a feeling that Aaron Rodgers was going to somehow make the playoffs this year if this is last year. A-Rod said, listen, I got to make the playoffs before I retire. I cannot go out like this. And he has another shot, okay, to go win it all with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I do think this pass rush is going to be too much for the Steelers offense. I have a hot take. I think Will Anderson's going to have at least 3 sacks, okay? But I really do think C.J. Stroud and the offense is going to get going, even though their offense has been up and down a lot this season. But otherwise, I'm going with the Houston Texans to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I really want to go with the Bills since this is their shot at making it out the AFC and winning it all this year. Without Mahomes, without Lamar Jackson, without Joe Burrow, I'm going to say this right now. Buffalo Bills. You have no excuse. You are the most experienced team heading into the playoffs in the AFC. No excuse. Josh Allen, this is your time. I don't want to hear no excuse. If they don't make it at least to the AFC Championship game, this season's a failure. If you don't make it out the first round, it's a failure. So if you lose, it's a failure. If you get to the Super Bowl, great. But Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, this is your time. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they're a red hot coming into the playoffs. Jaguars shocked a lot of people this year. I had this team going 8-9, but they finished, 13-4, 11-6. Let me see what the Jaguars finished. Because I believe they finished with like 11 wins. Let's see. Yep, the Jaguars did finish 13-4 on top of the AFC South. Jacksonville is legit, okay? This is my sleeper. The Jaguars are my sleeper to come out the AFC this year. Okay, I do like Trevor Lawrence, Liam Cohen, what they're doing over there in Jacksonville. They are building something special. I'm going to go with the Jaguars over the Bills. I really do think Trevor Lawrence is going to get the job done. Next game, we got the New England Patriots taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert versus Drake May. This is going to be a classic. This is going to be a great game. Drake May's first playoff game. Justin Herbert with the more experience. I do believe that the New England Patriots are going to get the job done. I really think Drake May is going to go off, okay? This is the Patriots' first home game in New England since 2019, since Tom Brady left. The first time they won a division since 2019. So it's a moment for Patriots fans, okay? If I was a Patriots fan, I will be excited for this game, okay? Because you're at home, you're hosting the Chargers. Drake May, your new franchise quarterback. I think New England is starting a whole new dynasty over there. You got Mike Vrabel, who's doing a great job all season long. As of right now, they're looking like Brady and Belichick 2.0. Okay? But otherwise, though, I'm going to go with the New England Patriots over the Los Angeles Chargers. So in the AFC divisional round, I got the Broncos and Texans and the Patriots and Jaguars. Now we go to the AFC side. The NFC side. We go over to the NFC side. First game, we got the Los Angeles Rams and the Carolina Panthers. These two teams met each other in Week 13. Carolina won 31-28. I'll be surprised right now. If I'm going to tell you this right now. If the Panthers win, shocker of the playoffs. Okay? Because the Rams are a Super Bowl team. The Panthers just came, out of the NFC South, and they finished 8-9. But I won't be surprised if the Panthers win because if you look at it, the Panthers are a sleeper team, okay? I won't be surprised, okay? So watch out for the Panthers, but I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams over the Carolina Panthers. And congratulations to the Carolina Panthers for winning the NFC South. Coming from a Falcons fan, y'all welcome. Y'all deserved it. It's been a while, okay? Because y'all been through the ups and downs, all right? Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. Give me the Eagles over the Niners. I cannot bet against the Eagles in the playoffs, especially while they're at home in Philly. But if the Niners do win, I won't be surprised. But I don't really think Brock Purdy could get the job done in Philly. Last but not least, we got the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears classic NFC North rivalry. I'm going to go with the Bears over the Packers. Okay, I really do think Caleb Williams is about to shine in his playoff debut. The Bears' defense is going to be too much for the Packers. And I really do think Chicago is going to get the job done and advance to the divisional round. So in the NFC divisional round, I got the Seahawks taking on the Rams and the Bears taking on the Eagles. And that's it. That concludes today's show of the Nard Report. Hopefully my predictions go well. I will be back next week to talk about it all. I'm here to recap all the games. Thank you for everybody that joined the show today. I hope you had a great day. If you are new to the YouTube, if you're watching right now, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to all of my content and when I post stuff. And don't forget to follow the social media on Instagram and TikTok at _Nard_Report. And that concludes today's show. Have a good rest of your day. Nard out.